10 Stoic Lessons to Keep Calm. When life gets wild, hook. You know that feeling? Your chest tightens up, your breath gets short, and your mind just races with all sorts of what-ifs. Maybe it's a crazy deadline at work, an unexpected bill that lands on your doorstep, or a tough conversation you've been putting off. Sound familiar? That sensation of being totally overwhelmed by modern life. It's not just you, and it's definitely not new. But what if the real secret to staying cool under pressure wasn't in some trendy new wellness app, but in ancient wisdom that's been tested for over 2,000 years? Intro. Imagine a version of you that can walk through any of life's storms, with this incredible sense of calm, like a steady rock in the middle of chaos. This isn't some kind of superpower. It's what happens when you put stoicism into practice. This is an ancient philosophy, shaped by brilliant minds like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, people who lived through plagues, wars, and the fall of empires. They truly understood that while we can't always control what's happening around us, we absolutely can control how we respond to it. Today, we're diving into 10 powerful Stoic lessons. Think of them as your practical guide to finding that unshakable calm, helping you navigate the wild currents of life with a bit more grace and strength. And these aren't just dusty old theories, they're actionable strategies you can start using today. Lesson 1. Focus on what you can control. All right, this first one is a game changer, perhaps the very cornerstone of Stoicism. Master the art of separating what you can influence from what you simply can't. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who began life enslaved and rose to become a revered teacher, nailed it when he said, "Man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them." So much of our stress erupts from wrestling with things, entirely out of our hands. What other people think, the unpredictable weather, global events, or the unchangeable past. The Stoics guide us to channel our precious energy into what is within our power, our own thoughts, our judgments, our decisions, our actions, and crucially, how we choose to react. Seriously, pause and consider it. When you shift your focus to your effort rather than fixating on the outcome, or concentrate on your reaction instead of what someone else did, you reclaim a massive amount of mental and emotional energy. So, how can you weave this into your daily life? Each morning, perhaps take a moment to list what's causing you anxiety, then courageously split that list. What can I genuinely do something about here? And what must I learn to accept? Pour your energy into that first list and actively work on accepting the second. This single shift can dramatically reduce how helpless or frustrated you feel when life gets wild. Lesson 2. Live in accordance with nature. Now, living in accordance with nature might conjure images of a rustic cabin retreat, but for the Stoics, it signified something far deeper. It means aligning your life with the rational order of the universe, and importantly, with our inherent nature as rational, social human beings. The Stoics believed the universe operates on reason, a principle they called logos, and by understanding and accepting this natural order, we can live more peacefully. This isn't about becoming a passive bystander, it's about perceiving reality for what it is and choosing to work with it, not relentlessly fighting against it. It means harnessing our ability to reason, striving for virtue, and accepting that life encompasses cycles, growth, decay, change, and yes, even challenging times, as integral parts of being alive. When you battle the current, you merely exhaust yourself. When you learn to flow with it, or at least navigate it with skill, you conserve your strength. A simple way to connect with this concept is to regularly contemplate your place in the grand scheme of things. When you're confronted by a challenge, ask yourself, is my reaction aligned with my rational self, with being a good person? Instead of resisting changes you cannot halt, try to view them as life unfolding naturally, That acceptance can be a genuine pathway to calm. Lesson 3. Cultivate the 4 cardinal virtues. For the Stoics, the ultimate aim wasn't just to feel calm, it was to live a genuinely flourishing life, what they termed eudaimonia, and the pathway to this good life was paved with virtue. They passionately believed that virtue is the only true good, and they highlighted 4 key virtues that operate in harmony: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Wisdom is about seeing things with clarity, making sound judgments, and navigating complex situations with profound understanding. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's possessing the strength to confront challenges, to endure difficult times, and to adhere to your principles even when it's incredibly tough. Justice, in the Stoic sense, means treating others fairly, with kindness, and recognizing our interconnectedness, acting for the collective good. And temperance is about moderation, self-control, and discovering balance, ensuring we're not enslaved by our desires. These aren't merely abstract ideals. They are practical guides for your daily actions. How do you cultivate them? Each evening, take a brief inventory of your day. Where did you act wisely? Where could you have demonstrated more courage? Were your interactions fair and just? Did you practice self-control? Then choose one small way you can strive to embody each virtue a little more effectively tomorrow. Consistently doing this builds a robust character, which is your ultimate defense against inner turmoil when the external world is chaotic. Lesson 4. Practice mindfulness and present moment awareness. Long before mindfulness became a ubiquitous buzzword, the Stoics intrinsically knew the immense power of living in the present. So much of our unhappiness stems from replaying past events or endlessly worrying about the future. Seneca wisely observed, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. Fretting over what's already transpired or what might occur simply robs you of the only time you genuinely possess, right now." Being present means truly tuning into your current experience with unwavering focus and purpose. It empowers you to respond to situations as they truly are, not based on old fears or future anxieties. Focusing on the here and now doesn't mean you neglect planning for what's next, but you don't allow anxiety about it to sabotage your peace today. A simple method to integrate this into your life is to set aside a few minutes each day for quiet contemplation. Just focus on your breath or the ambient sounds around you. But you can also be mindful in everyday activities. When you're savoring your coffee, just savor your coffee. Notice the warmth, the aroma, the taste. When you're walking, feel the sensation of your feet on the pavement. Use small cues throughout your day, perhaps every time your phone pings, as a reminder to gently pull your attention back to the present moment. This consistent practice helps you cultivate a calm, centered mind. Lesson 5. Distinguish between good, bad, and indifferent things. This lesson presents a rather radical perspective that can liberate you from a great deal of emotional drama. The Stoics categorized everything into 3 distinct buckets: good, bad, and indifferent. The only things that are intrinsically good are the virtues, like wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. The only things that are inherently bad are their opposites, the vices. Absolutely everything else, your health, your financial status, your reputation, pleasure, pain, even life and death, they classified as indifference. Now, this doesn't imply you shouldn't prefer being healthy over sick or having financial resources over being destitute. The Stoics acknowledge these as preferred indifference. But the pivotal idea is that these things, in and of themselves, do not determine your happiness or define whether you're living a good life. Your car breaking down is an indifferent. It's undeniably a hassle, but it cannot touch your inner virtue or your capacity to respond with courage and wisdom. To put this into practice, when something upsets you, consciously hit pause and ask, Is this thing truly good or bad in the Stoic sense? Does it affect my virtue or vice? Or is it an indifferent? Recognizing that most of life's fluctuations are indifference helps you maintain your emotional equilibrium and prevents external events from disrupting your inner peace. Lesson 6. Use rational thinking to manage emotions. It's a pervasive myth that Stoics simply suppress their emotions. This is not accurate. Stoicism teaches us not to be swept away by destructive emotions, and the primary tool for this is our reason. The Stoics believed that emotions like anger, fear, or profound anxiety often arise from faulty judgments, from flawed beliefs about what's actually happening. For instance, intense anger might stem from the judgment, "This person is deliberately trying to disrespect me, and that's outrageous." A Stoic approach would involve dissecting that judgment. Is that definitively true? Are you absolutely certain about their intention? Even if it is true, is erupting in anger helpful or virtuous? By rationally examining the judgments that fuel these overwhelming, unhelpful emotions, we can adjust our thinking and, consequently, our emotional response. Your daily practice here is to become a keen observer of your own emotions. When a strong negative feeling surfaces, don't just impulsively react. Stop. Attempt to pinpoint the underlying thought or judgment that sparked it.